to public media's English-language news show, Hungary Reports, kicking off M1's foreign-language news hour. I'm Arpad Sötzi with the latest from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Thanks very much for tuning in. May Day celebrations on Sunday were in full force in many cities around the world, and Budapest was no exception. The day celebrates those who work and has been a day off for many people since 1890. In the Hungarian capital, in the City Park, the country's 5 major unions celebrated May Day. Their representatives read off a list of 14 demands, among them asking for equal pay for equal work and more liberal rules for striking. Representatives from left-wing political parties were nearby, but didn't celebrate together with each other. No one can force Hungary to settle in migrants, said Viktor Orbán in an interview with a Portuguese paper. The Prime Minister defended the Hungarian constitution and that Hungary rejected the mandatory quota system of resettling migrants, and also that Hungary built a fence along its borders. He added that his standpoint completely differs from the European Commission's, and that he does not believe that migration can at all be a solution to the demographic and economic challenges. Viktor Orbán said that despite Hungary's efforts to protect the European Union at its borders with Serbia, Croatia, and Romania and enforce the Schengen Treaty, the country is subject to criticism. The Prime Minister added that the core of his Schengen 2.0 proposition is that all migrant centers and refugee camps must be outside the EU. The official tourist season has kicked off at Lake Balaton in Hungary, Eastern Europe's largest freshwater lake. Official celebrations took place all around the lake, with ships now also offering service. And travel experts hope that the region's growth in tourism will continue this year, as well, citing improvements in infrastructure.
On Saturday, the official spring tourist season kicked off at Lake Balaton. By Sunday, ships were already doing a brisk business at the docks of Balatonfüred, and there have also been improvements since last season. The ship Siófok was completely revamped and was outfitted with the most modern navigation system you can get. It also got a new design, and you can see some really special features on the boat, said the harbor master. We're now at Keszthely, where the region's MP spoke at the customary season opening, expressing optimism that this season tourism would continue to increase. Improvements in leisure sports and cultural activities for tourists make this possible. Funding from the EU has helped improve opportunities for sailing, horseback riding and fishing, and at the same time, of course, wine tourism and culinary tourism have also developed, as have the companies themselves, said the Fidesz MP. After the opening ceremony, a wreath was thrown from the cruise ship Helka into Lake Balaton to mark the official opening of the tourist season there.
Now, if you've ever seen the chariot race in the movie Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston, then you'll be interested in this. It's called the National Gallop, featuring horseback riders and their steeds racing around a dirt track set up at Budapest's pristine Heroes Square in mid-September. The riders and the horses come from Hungary and from Hungarian minority areas in the surrounding countries. There are a number of categories they'll be racing in, including chariot races.
The first qualifiers of the National Gallop were held in Sarkad in Békés County in Hungary on Sunday. This has become a tradition by now. The first qualifiers of the National Gallop take place for the 7th time in Sarkad. Each year the qualifiers start here, said the event organizer. Riders and horses from 13 settlements competed in the race. There were carriage driving and pony riding competitions as well. Jockeys and their horses had to race 1,100 meters in the Sarkad Gallop. This year, Nicolette Poyek and her horse called Monaco finished in first place. That means they'll participate in the grand final National Gallop at Heroes Square in Budapest in September. The winner is already preparing for the race in Budapest. My goal this year is to compete in the final. Next year, I'll take some time off so my horse Monaco, if everything works out, can deliver its foal. So we'll do our best, says Nicolette. The first 3 winners of the qualifiers automatically get the chance to ride in the finals in September.
And specifically, that competition goes from September 16th to the 18th. Now on to racing using motors. May Day celebrations in Budapest on Sunday included the annual event called the Great Race. That features a spectacular race car competition that includes Formula One vehicles speeding through the streets of Budapest, as well as an air show that, as you'll see, is certainly not without its dangers.
3 Audis and a BMW competed first in this year's Great Race. Cars started off from their pits in front of the Castle Garden Bazaar. János Tóth Jr., a 7-time rally champion, was also among the drivers in the Great Race. He was in this Peugeot 208 for the 2-lap competition. This is a Formula One race car from 1972. Its pilot, Gerhard Berger, a former Formula One driver, participated in more than 200 races between 1984 and 1997. Public media's M4 broadcasted the events live all day, not only the races but also the air show, which was opened by Péter Besenyei, an acrobatics pilot and world champion air racer. During his 10-minute show, he flew under the city's chain bridge several times. And another spectacular attraction was when an Airbus passenger plane flew just meters above the Danube River. And audiences were eager to see Zoltán Veres, a European Aero GP champion pilot who flew under the city's chain bridge with 2 plane formations. We're showing this in slow-mo again. The aircraft landing gear on the left of Zoltán Veres touches the water for a moment, then the pilot tries to correct his flight, but starts to dip again. Eventually, he pulled the plane back into formation. Fortunately, no one was hurt, and the record attempt succeeded. Tens of thousands of people visited the 4th Great Race this year.
Participants at the Eurovision Song Contest are arriving in Stockholm for the competition. Hungary's entry, Freddie, will be performing on May 10th in the first semifinal. It's the TV viewers who send in their votes electronically to determine who moves on. The shows are flashy and some say gaudy, but occasionally a star is born.
Hungary's Eurovision team left Budapest's international airport for Stockholm, Sweden on Sunday. Just before boarding, featured performer Freddie told this network that he'll be concentrating on rehearsals the next few days and will do everything to get the best possible final result. I can hardly wait, and obviously it's my goal to finish high up. After all, if we're representing the country, I'll do everything in my power to make that happen, said Freddie. He'll be representing Hungary with the song called Pioneer, which helped him win the national final in Hungary called Adal. Freddie got top marks from both the professional jury and the public. He's performer number 4 in the first semi-final in Stockholm. The singer's manager said that one of their most important tasks will be to make Freddie and his song better known to the foreign delegations as well as to the media. A lot will depend on the media getting to know him during rehearsals, how he does his job and sings. All that will count considerably in his final placing, said Freddie's manager. This is the 6th Eurovision Song Contest that Sweden is hosting. This year it will be at the Globe Arena in Stockholm. More than 10,000 audience members will be cheering on the acts, and about 200 million TV viewers will be following the competition. The 2 semi-finals are on May 10th and 12th, with the final on Saturday, May 14th. Public media Duna channel will be broadcasting all of them live.
And that's all for now, but please remember, Hungary Reports is on every night around this time. Coming right up, our other news programs in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks very much for watching, and viszontlátásra.